So this is the second video in a series of videos looking at the impending daily life issues as medical marijuana is established in the state of Missouri. As new videos are added to this series, we will build a playlist for them so that you can see those in that series, and they'll be tagged impending issues. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law. In this one, we're going to talk about veterans and veterans' access to medical marijuana. Ironically, we have a constitutional amendment that's going to raise millions of dollars every year. The projections are $24 million a year. And we know those projections are usually low. I mean, once we start selling medical marijuana in Missouri, we're going to sell it. But while that money is going to go to assist veterans, it's not actually going to help veterans get or use medical marijuana in the state of Missouri. Now, residents and employees of the state's 7 state nursing homes for veterans are barred from possessing or using medical marijuana. Residents and employees. Think about that for a second. And the reason for this, frankly, is money. Once again, money. The same thing we had with universities in the first video in the series is the same problem we're having here. The 7 state nursing homes receive a portion of their $80 million a year funding from the federal government, Veterans Affairs. Okay? And with Veterans Affairs comes some strings when they give you the money. Now, the Missouri Veterans Commission Executive Director told the Commission that the state has to bar the use of medical marijuana to stay in compliance with the regulations and requirements of Veterans Affairs. And that's truly ironic when you think about it, because the Veterans Affairs Department, VA, has itself attempted to run pilot programs evaluating the effectiveness and use of marijuana to treat PTSD and certain types of cancer. And here's the funny thing, is that veterans seeking medical attention through VA doctors aren't going to be able to get their medical marijuana certificate signed off on because the drug is still illegal under federal law. And the places where the drug can do veterans the absolute most good in professionally operated PTSD programs and counseling, that drug is unavailable. And we know that marijuana is effective treatment of PTSD because other countries have done complete studies while we've ignored it. Frankly, it makes me want to open up a dispensary and a cultivation facility just to be able to provide medical marijuana at low cost or free to veterans in need of it. Now, if someone wants to start that as a nonprofit, hit me up. So the money raised through the sales tax will go into the Missouri Veterans Health and Care Fund. Now, from there, it's likely going to be used to supplement the funds that pays for the 7 state nursing homes, as well as some other veterans' needs. But veterans that are staying in those facilities are not going to be able to access medical marijuana, no matter how much in need of it they are, because of those very same regulations we talked about that the VA has. It's illegal federally. Doctors cannot prescribe it, and it can't be allowed in the facility under federal law. So while we have this facility that's being paid for in part by medical marijuana, people that are actually in need of medical marijuana in that facility are not going to be allowed to use it. No matter how much in need of it they are, unless the federal law changes. And again, this comes down to you watching this. You have to write a letter, not make a phone call, not fire off a quick angry email. You have to write a letter. Write a letter to your congressperson, write a letter to your senator, write a letter. and say that medical marijuana needs to be legalized federally. That has to happen. Now, as far as what the funds are going to do when they get into the Veterans Health and Care Fund, well, we don't know how they're going to break up. And we don't even know how much is going to be there yet. It could be a small amount, it could be less than 24 million, it could be a lot more than that 24 million. Frankly, I think it's going to be more, at least until we legalize recreational marijuana. I think it'll be a lot more. But veterans themselves are a group of people that are being left out of access to medical marijuana. In addition, when they go to the VA and they are tested for marijuana, they're going to be referred to drug counseling, and their records are going to show that they have a drug addiction, regardless of whether they have a medical marijuana card. These are negative impacts that are impacting the very class of people that, or one of the very classes of people that our constitutional amendment was intended to protect. It's a problem, it's a flaw, and by God, it's something we can fix. And the question we have to look at is, how much of that 80 million is actually funded by the government? Perhaps we will get enough funds from sales tax of medical marijuana that we can replace those federal funds and allow our needy, hurting veterans access to medical marijuana instead of harsh opioids. Maybe we can allow them access to medical marijuana that will allow them to eat and drink and survive, enjoy the last days of their cancer. Perhaps we can do something like that. That's going to take action on your state representatives and state senators. It's going to take twisting some arms. Proverbially, don't go beat up a senator. But this is one of the issues that we're seeing. It's one of the issues that's going to come up. Other issues that we're going to talk about will be landlord-tenant law, employment law, courts, children's division, juvenile law, drug courts, and how marijuana is going to play into that. Medical marijuana is touching on every aspect of our society, and it's going to impact every aspect of law in Missouri. So we're going to touch a little bit on that. Thank you. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the alert button, and drop a comment. Let us know if you see something we haven't addressed, or you see an angle on it we haven't addressed. Talk to us and let us know. Thank you.